Hello. 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 Okay. Hello, students. Welcome to Trunkie Academy. And today again we are here with a new topic. So today we'll start with another new topic and from the new chapter, and that is the why do we fall ill? And we study about the disease and different types of disease and causes of disease. Okay. So first of all, with the introduction. What is health? First, we'll start with what is health. We should know. Okay. So health is not only about being physically fit. Okay. It's also about being mentally fit. So we'll write that the condition of body, the condition of body to function physically socially and mentally well is called health. So this is the complete definition of what is health. Okay. So that means being physically fit. Okay, to the condition of the body is to work efficiently. Okay, normally. Okay, physically, normal function of the body, and also socially and mentally well-being of the physical, mental, and social state. So that is called the health. Good. Now, a body with good mental and physical condition, we call it a healthy body. Okay, it's not just a body free from disease. Okay, there has to be proper functioning. Okay, and there should not be no weakness in the body. The energy should be there, and an individual should be able to work efficiently, and there should be no any kind of weakness in the body. Okay, so that is the so mental and social well-being. Okay, so now what is this? Now we'll study about the what is disease. Okay, so disease is defined as a particular abnormal uh, particular abnormal condition or function affecting the part or the entire organism is called disease. Disease. That means any abnormality, any deviation from the normal condition or normal situation okay, in the physiology of the body or in physical condition, okay, or mental condition, that will be called as disease. Okay, so any particular condition or function affecting the part or entire organism, any abnormal condition that is going to affect the body's functions or part of the body's functions, then that is the disease. Okay, uh, a body with a disease body is called disease body. Okay, now we'll study about the different causes of disease, and now we come to know what are different reasons for falling ill and what may be the different reasons of the diseases. Okay, causes of disease. So we'll study about the causes of diseases. So the first and number one is the lack of nutritious and sufficient food. Lack of nutritious and sufficient food. Okay, so number two will be the unhealthy and dirty surrounding. Unhealthy and dirty surrounding. Okay, from where we may get some infection, dirty surrounding, unhealthy. Nutritious, when we say nutritious food, means nutritious. Nutritious food and sufficient food. That means there is a, if the food is not nutritious, okay, and there is not sufficient food to eat, that will cause some deficiency disease. Some kind of disease will be caused affecting the health. For example, there is deficiency of carbohydrate in the food or protein in the food, that will cause a very the body making weak and a kind of disease. Okay. Now number three, contact with infected person. Contact with infected person. Now this is a very important point, because when the persons are infected with some virus and bacteria, okay, and that means there are some communicable disease, so that can be transferred from one person to another. So by contacting or due to some reason, by some means of this transfer of the bacteria or virus, so the person who is healthy, he or she can also be affected with the disease. Okay, so contact. Now another is the using personal belongings, often using belongings of an infected person. Okay, if somebody is infected and if somebody is using the towel of that person or any other belongings, okay, which may carry the germs, okay, or pathogens, so that may be transferred to the healthy person. Okay, the person who is using that the things. Okay, so using personal belongings of infected person, then drinking untreated or contaminated water and eating food from unclean and unhygienic hygienic source or place. So that means there are the important different five reasons. Okay, lack of good nutrition or lack of nutritious food which contains all different sort of vitamins, minerals, etc. And also there is, if there is the full quantity of food. Okay, if, depending on the hunger of the individual, so that may also cause the deficiency disease or some other disease. Okay, then unhealthy and dirty surrounding, because if there is some the surrounding is not clean, okay, and the the environment is unhealthy, so that may cause some infectious disease or some kind of pathogens may be may find its way into the body of the individual and may cause some disease. Okay, using personal belongings of infected person, if the person is infected or suffering from some disease, okay, due to some communicable disease, if we are using the belongings of that person, so that will also cause infection. Okay, and drinking untreated water, nowadays we know that there are so many different types of filters, and RO, reverse osmosis filters are there, and water purifiers are there. That is because we need to treat the water, because we need to drink clean and safe water. Okay, because water from unclean source may contain several types of germs, pathogens, and that may cause the disease. And if we eat the food from unhygienic place or unhygienic source, where the flies are sitting on the different types of places where some dead and decaying or decaying organic matters are there, and from there they are bringing the germs on their legs, on their body surface, and then they are transmitting into the food when they are sitting on the food. So if we are eating from the unhygienic place or source, so that will also cause the disease in our body. So these are the different five general reasons for causes of disease. Okay, so now in the next thing is that acute. Now we will study about the types. Okay, there are two main types, that is acute disease and chronic disease. So okay, we will study about that. Acute disease, and so disease may be divided into two types, that is the disease acute disease, acute and chronic. Okay, disease that persist only for a short period of time and are called acute disease. Okay, acute. So we will write for the definition for the acute disease. Acute disease, the disease that persists only only a short period of time, is called acute disease. Okay, short period, it's not for the long. Okay, there are some other diseases which are continuously for long, for some diseases are for lifetime, some diseases are for a very long period of time. Okay, so these are called chronic disease, but if it is for short period of time, it is called acute disease. Okay, now acute disease lasts for a short period of time, and if this does not get in a time to cause any fatal effects on the body to the general health. Okay, so what happens? This is, for example, somebody suddenly having diarrhea. Okay, so that is acute, and it is not going to cause some fatal effect on the body of the individual, because it will not persist for a long period of time. It is acute, it comes, and then it will be, if it is cured, then it is a acute disease. Okay, so now the next is the chronic disease. In case of chronic disease, disease that persists for long period of time. Chronic disease. Disease that persists for long period of time. Or even lifetime. Are called chronic disease. Are called chronic disease. Okay. Example are elephantiasis, okay, heart attack, cancer, emphysema, bronchitis. These are the examples of the long term, or you can say chronic disease. Okay. So elephantiasis is a kind of where there is a swelling of the leg. Elephantiasis. Cancer. Okay, it may be fatal also if not treated. Okay, then bronchitis. Okay, so these are the examples of chronic diseases. Okay, so this chronic diseases, if not treated, it may be very, very dangerous and may be harmful. Okay, now we will come to the another section of this chapter, that is the infectious disease. And this is the important part, and according to the syllabus of the class 9, this is a very important part, and many questions are asked in the examination. Okay, so you have to pay attention very carefully and listen very carefully, because the questions will be asked based on the infectious disease. Okay, now we'll say about infectious disease. Infectious disease. The disease caused due to the infection. Infections spread by microbes, microorganisms or microbes. Okay, such as bacteria, virus, fungi, etc. Okay, are called infectious disease. Are called infectious disease. Now, infections means the germs, the pathogens. Okay, they are carrying, they are getting its place, or they are going to its way into the body of the organism for causing disease. That is the infections. Okay, or different pathogens, microorganisms find its way into the body of the organism for their survival or for their growth. Okay, causing disease into the body of the organism. That is an infection. So okay, so infections are caused by microorganisms or microbes. Okay, like bacteria, virus, fungi, unicellular fungi, and also by protozoa like Plasmodium vivax or some other protozoa like Entomoma histolytica, etc. Okay, so there are 4 categories that we will study about the microorganisms that cause the infectious disease. Okay, so for example, infectious disease, in case of the examples, we have the AIDS, it is infectious disease, dengue is an infectious disease, fever, cold, and fever may be due to different reasons. So we will not consider at this moment as the disease. This is a kind of symptom. Okay, but if it is due to the virus, Okay, if it is the viral fever, then it can be infectious and can be transmitted. Okay, so these are the caused by the virus. Okay, so these are the viral disease caused by the virus. Chicken pox, smallpox, mumps, chicken pox, okay, rubella, uh, mumps, okay, smallpox. Okay, these are caused by the viruses. Now, diseases caused by the bacteria are typhoid by bacteria, by bacteria. So there are typhoid, cholera, tuberculosis. Examples are very very important, okay, and especially which disease is caused by which type of microorganism. So cholera is caused by, is it caused by the virus or is it caused by the bacteria? This is important for exam. This type of question is asked. Okay, so tuberculosis, these are the bacteria. Now caused by the protozoans, by protozoans or protozoa, protozoa. So this is by malaria, kala azar. Are caused by the protozoans. Okay, protozoans are single-celled microorganisms. Okay, they are not bacteria with eukaryotic cells. In case of bacteria, these are made up of prokaryotic cells, primitive types of cells. But in case of these protozoans, they are made up of the eukaryotic cells. So this is the two examples are the malaria and also amoebiasis. Amoebiasis. So this is caused by the Entamoeba histolytica. Okay, it is also the protozoa. Okay. Now, so they can be transferred from infected person to the normal person by several means. Therefore, infectious diseases are also called communicable disease. Okay. So since now this is the point. Okay. Infectious disease can be transmitted from diseased person or from diseased or infected person to healthy person. Okay, person by several means. Okay, so therefore it is called communicable disease. So that means since they are communicating, they can be transferred from one person to another, okay, to a healthy person. So that is why it's called a communicable disease. So it is very simple. Okay. So this is how, why, when it is asked why it is called communicable disease, okay, because they are transmitted to the healthy person by different means, okay, in different modes. So they are called communicable diseases. Okay. Now we will come to the non-infectious disease. Okay. So in the beginning we saw that when the different causes of the disease are, okay, by contact. Okay, it's not necessary that by contacting to a diseased person the disease will be transmitted. Okay, it depends on the whether disease is infectious or non-infectious. If somebody is suffering from diabetes and by contacting him or by shaking hands with the diabetic person, that will not be transmitted. even the person who is suffering from cancer, even the person who is suffering from the heart attack or some kind of heart problem. Okay, so these are non-infectious disease. Okay, so now we'll study about the non-infectious disease. Okay, so the disease that are caused by means other than microbes, means other than microbes are called non-infectious disease. Okay. Other means maybe due to deficiency of some kind of nutrients. Okay, maybe some other reasons, or there may be some kind of genetical disorders. So that is the non-infectious disease. Okay, there are some diseases caused that are due to the genetic disorder. Okay, the disease caused by deficiency of some particular kind of nutrients. So these kind of diseases are not included or do not comes under the infectious disease and are called non-infectious disease. Okay, so example is a person suffering from heart attack, or person suffering from diabetes mellitus, okay, high blood sugar level, or person suffering from hypertension or high blood pressure, okay, or the person suffering from cancer. These are not infectious disease. Okay, so as they are not caused by microbes, therefore do not spread by contacting the infected persons. Okay, so if healthy person is in contact with this kind of in contact with the person who is suffering from non-infectious disease, so that will not transmit. So he will not be infected. Okay, or not be this is called also called non-communicable disease. So these are non-communicable disease. Communicable disease. Okay. Why? Because these are not transmitted. Okay. Similarly, non-infectious, non-communicable, infectious, communicable. Okay. So that way you have to remember. Now, the mode of transmission, how the diseases are transmitted in case of the infectious disease. There are different ways. Okay. Sometimes some people are okay. Those who are suffering from infectious disease, okay, and that person, if using his or her handkerchief, okay, and if somebody who is not suffering from that disease, okay, and uses that particular handkerchief, then the germs, that is the virus or bacteria is there, that may may infect the healthy person or the person who has used that. Okay, so now we'll write about the mode of transmission. Okay, mode of transmission of disease. Modes of transmission of disease. Okay, the disease the diseases spreads when an infected person, when an infected person sneezes or coughs Okay, they throw tiny droplets, tiny droplets of water into the air that contains microbes. That Now try to understand this. This is a natural process. Sneezing and coughing. Okay, microbes of infection. When we are sneezing, means we are. This is a natural way of throwing out the microbe. Okay, this is a body defense mechanism actually. When somebody is sneezing, means the virus or bacteria which he is harboring or he has infected with that is being thrown out. The natural mechanism. But again, if that droplets which has come out by sneezing, that is carrying the germs, that is carrying the virus or bacteria, so that may infect other person who is in the vicinity of that infected person. Okay, so to try to understand this sneezing and coughing is a natural defense mechanism to throw out the microorganisms, okay, or the pathogens. But these coughing and the sneezing causes the throwing out the tiny droplets that is with many pathogens or germs that has caused the disease. So that may infect. Okay, if somebody is inhaling or near that person who is sneezing, so that person may get infected with the disease from which he is the infected person is suffering from. Okay, so microbes of infection. So this is the how one mode. Okay, now a healthy person is standing nearby when we inhale the air and take in infected air, okay, and may fall sick. So taking in in air or inhaling air with microbes, okay, with microbes. But that may cause the cause the disease. Okay, so I told you some examples already that we discussed: chickenpox, smallpox, mumps, rubella. There are some other viral diseases. Okay, even the viral fever. These are the viral diseases. Okay, and it may may spread very quickly. Okay, so even pneumonia is the disease that is communicable. Okay, disease also spread by excreta. Okay, of infected person somehow get mixed with drinking water used by other people who drink the water. So we have to be very careful about the drinking water. Earlier, nowadays the system of sewage disposal and the disposal of the septic tank or the whatever the stool that is discharged by the persons, there has been some kind of a system, okay, that is not going to mix, to ensure that the excreta is not going to mix with drinking water or the water where there is storage of water. Okay, so separate way of. So now this is very important. If excreta also contains the germs and pathogens, and if it is contaminated with the drinking water, that will also cause the disease. Okay, if somebody is drinking the water. So contamination and drinking of contaminated water means contaminated with excreta, contaminated with excreta. Okay, so here we must understand that excreta should not be anyhow should not be uh, you know contact gets should not get contaminated with the water, because if somebody is drinking from that source of dump tank where it is stored, or and the excreta is contaminated, then it's going to it may cause, and person may get infected, and it may cause the disease. So the best way is to filter or use some kind of water purifier, okay, or to drink boiled water if there is some kind of epidemic disease, okay, or some kind of disease is spreading in locality. So it is better to drink a boiled water or using a water purifier, okay, or water filter, etc. So that disease like cholera, typhoid spreads through means of, okay, the contaminated water. So waterborne disease or water disease caused by contaminated water, waterborne disease, okay, or disease caused by contaminated water. The examples are typhoid and cholera. So these are the very common and examples. They find a new host, because this is typhoid, Salmonella typhi, okay, and Vibrio cholera. Typhoid and cholera caused by the bacteria Salmonella typhi and Vibrio cholerae. Okay, so these bacteria, they find a new host and then they start growing there, causing the disease in the body of that particular individual. So we must avoid drinking, and we must ensure that drinking water is pure and the safe and without any contamination, okay, and it is free from microbes or microorganisms, okay. So this was about the disease. Okay, now another last point I just said in this class, and then we'll continue in the next class tomorrow, okay. Diseases like AIDS, HIV/AIDS, or syphilis, or sexually transmitted disease are also communicable disease, and that is due to unhygienic, or we are by contacting with the infected persons, okay. So that is also should be kept that also should be kept in mind, that when a person is suffering from some kind of communicable disease, we must avoid contacting or using his or her belongings, because that may have the germs or pathogens or microorganisms that cause the disease, okay. So acquired immune deficiency syndrome, that AIDS, can also spread by means like blood to blood contact, okay, or using the same syringe with the infected person, okay, or using some personal belongings, for example the razor, okay, or toothbrush, etc. So that is how the AIDS may be transmitted, okay. And there are other different means also, and about the next point tomorrow we'll study about how to prevent the disease, okay. So in the next class, okay, I will study about the acquired immune deficiency syndrome AIDS spread to a healthy baby from their mother or during pregnancy also. If the mother is suffering from AIDS, so that may be transmitted to the fetus, okay, or that baby is developing inside the womb of the mother. Infections like ringworm are caused by the fungus, okay, that also spreads very fast, okay. So it can be transmitted by contact, through handshake, okay, or by touch, etc. Many diseases are carried by infected person to healthy persons through animals also, because animals are carrying, okay, somebody is suffering from and they are carrying the animals, and that animals or that pet animals goes to healthy person, so that also they transmit. Such animals are called okay. And there are some kind of other animals, okay, not pet animals, which animal called vectors. They also transmit. For example, the malaria is transmitted by vectors like mosquito. They are drinking the blood from the infected person, and then they are passing on to a healthy person. So these are called vectors, okay. Mosquito are the best example of vectors. housefly sits on the garbage, drains, human excreta, and again they sit on the food, okay, which is uncovered. So that also causes because when they are sitting on the garbage, drain, and human excreta, they are bringing the germs, and they are then they are releasing or living on the food which is uncovered. And when these foods are consumed by healthy person, that will cause the disease. So they find a new host and then grow and cause the disease. Okay. So this was all about the causes of disease, and tomorrow again we will meet to continue with this chapter. Okay, this topic, and that is we will study that again, how to prevent the disease, the prevention of disease. Okay. So thank you for joining and listening today. After this class, I will send you the DPP, as I have already told you that we are sending you DPP every day after the class. So you go to your academic booster, click on the resources link, and then click on the writing material, and you'll find DPP. Download and solve these questions and send back to us. Okay. So thank you for joining today and listening. Tomorrow again we'll meet at the same time. Till then, goodbye.